It's time to start touring homes. Here's a few do's and don'ts to remember while you're out. I'm Danny with KNE Realty, and let's get started. Great, you have your pre-approval and we are ready to start touring homes. Before we do that, there's one more piece of homework that we need to take care of, and that is we're gonna have you sign what's called a buyer's agency disclosure. And I'm gonna read a couple things about it so I don't forget any of my pieces. Hold on here. So the buyer's agency disclosure is a form that outlines the roles and responsibilities that I have to you as your agent. And I need to give you this information before there's any sharing of confidential information as well. Okay, now what this is not is it's not an exclusive buyer's agency, so it does not tie you into working with me as your agent, and also there are no financial repercussions for you. You don't owe anything on this or anything like that. It is just a disclosure stating my fiduciary responsibilities to you and what we expect of you as a client. All right, so now let's talk about touring homes. As you begin touring homes, you may find that your criteria change a little bit. It may be more important for you to get a 4th bedroom instead of a basement, or you might say, you know what, we really need a basement, but we don't want a 3-car garage, we can deal with a 2-car garage. So you may find yourself kind of saying, this is more important than this, and we may reorder your criteria a little bit. All very normal. Don't worry about that. Just keep those lines of communication open with us so that we're really looking for what you need. Also, I have a few do's and don'ts as you're touring homes. I'd like to go through those with you now. First of all, keep the number of people to a minimum touring the homes. You don't want to bring every friend and family member that you have to the showing. We want to stay focused on your needs, not what's important to your cousin or to your mom and dad, but what's important to you. You're going to be the ones that are living there, okay? And if you have children and you're bringing them with you, I always say, just hang on to their hand and keep them with you. I know there can be a lot of very tempting and exciting things for the kids to run around and explore, but it's not your house, and you really want to keep them with you, okay? So that really just speeds up our process and keeps things, again, focused on you guys, okay? You do want to assume that the seller is watching or listening to you, especially in today's age of Ring and Google and Alexa and all that stuff. You want to keep that in mind and pay attention to what you're saying. And what this does is, maybe you love the house and you're going, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the perfect house. We would do anything to have this house. Or maybe you don't like some things and you're kind of pointing out the stuff that really isn't good, or it's not your taste in art or whatever. The seller could be listening to that. And if you're making an offer on the house, that really could affect your negotiating position. So we want to be careful about that, okay? Also, I don't recommend that you wear bare feet. I know in the summertime you come in with sandals and it's comfy to wear those, but then you're walking around in someone's house in bare feet, and maybe you go down to the basement, maybe there's some staples or little glass pieces or something like that. I recommend at least socks. And you can always put some booties on over your shoes if that's more comfortable for you, okay? Don't bring your drinks into the house, your coffee, your sodas or whatever. Unfortunately, I have actually been there when a client dropped their drink onto the floor before I kind of made that a rule. I have since learned, and I will be making you keep the drinks outside. So really just keep your drinks in the car, okay? Also, don't use the bathroom in someone else's house. Number 1, it's not a public restroom. Number 2, we don't actually know if it's working. And if the client really has to go, I say do a test flush first to make sure that the restroom is working as it should. So anyway, yeah, it's not a public restroom. Plan ahead, make a pit stop at a gas station or somewhere else. Anyway, so that's it. So those are some do's and some don'ts for you. Also, criteria may change, and we will have you go ahead and sign that buyer's disclosure for us. All right? And we're excited to see you out there touring homes.